Hello, everyone, and welcome to Education Talks. And today we are going to talk about natural vegetation found in India. And this content is meant for the students who are studying for UPSC exam. So let's continue with the video and do like, share, and subscribe to Education Talks. So the points to be discussed over here are what is natural vegetation, the types of natural vegetation found in India, and characteristics of natural vegetation. So here I again repeat that the vegetation we are going to discuss about is only meant for India but not the other countries. So now you may ask that what is natural vegetation? So the bookish definition for natural vegetation is given over here. Natural vegetation refers to a plant community that has been left undisturbed over a long time so as to allow its individual species to adjust themselves to climate and soil conditions as fully as possible. So, in easy language, we can say that natural vegetation may refer to a plant community which is totally undisturbed. That means that um, humans are not disturbing them, like their habitats are not touched, the trees over there are not cut, or any other changes are not done. Whatever changes are done are by the environment, but not the humans. So, this undisturbance is referred to over a long time. It does not mean that it's only for a short time, but over here it's referred to as long time, like 50 years, 100 years. So this is to allow individual species to adjust themselves, to adapt over there to the climate and the soil conditions as fully as possible. जिससे वो जितनी भी इंडिविजुअल स्पीशीज है वहां पर, लाइक कोई टर्टल की अलग स्पीशी है, तो वो अपने आप को वहां पर अच्छे से एडजस्ट कर ले, अडेप्ट कर ले वहां पर अच्छे से, इन वहां के क्लाइमेट को, वहां की सॉइल कंडीशंस को जितना वो कर सकते हैं. So then, these are the types of natural vegetation in India along with the pictures. So there are tropical evergreen rainforest, deciduous or monsoon type of forest, dry deciduous forest, mountain forest, tidal or mangrove forest, semi-desert and desert vegetations. And now we are going to learn about the characteristics of vegetation. So the first type of vegetation we are going to learn about is the tropical evergreen rainforest. The tropical evergreen rainforests are found in the areas where precipitation is more than 200 centimeter. So by precipitation, we mean drizzling, hail, or rainfall. So in these areas, the precipitation is more than 200 centimeter. And they are largely found in northeastern regions of Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Assam, Nagaland, the Western Ghats, and the Tarai areas of the Himalayas, and the Andaman group of islands. And by Andaman group of islands, we only mean Andaman, not Nicobar. And over here, we have noticed that mostly these rainforests are not found in the mountains or hills, but they are only found in the hills of Khasi and Jaintia, as well as the Tarai areas of the Himalayas. The trees in this area have intense growth. क्योंकि like cotton. Cotton needs black soil and a lot of rainfall. So it can grow in the plateaus. So the plants which need excessive rainfall grow in the tropical evergreen rainforest, and thus they have intense growth because the more water, the more growth, the more intense growth. The major trees found in this area are sandalwood, rosewood, garjan, mahogany, and bamboo. So this is something we need to note. It has copious vegetation of all kinds. Trees, shrubs, and creepers, giving it a multi-layered structure. So by copious, we mean abundant of supply, which means if trees are growing, then they are growing in a large quantity. It does like basically they are getting the best conditions, you can say. So they have all kinds: trees, shrubs, creepers, and by multi-layered structure, we have studied about these in the lower classes too. Um, in this image, we can see the multi-layered structure. First is the ground layer, which is the ground, and then is the understory, or little bit of trunk thingy, you can say. Then is the sub canopy, and then is the canopy. So this is the multi-layered structure of the trees, shrubs, and creepers growing in the tropical evergreen rainforest. And now we'll move on to the deciduous or the monsoon type of forest. The deciduous forests are found on the lower slope of the Himalayas, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Orissa, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and the adjoining areas. So, by lower slopes, we mean that like in the Himalayas, there are mountains and there are the upper slopes and the lower slopes. So, it doesn't mean that they are on the summits, but by lower slopes, we mean that they're on the very much lower areas of the hills or the mountains, you can say. And by the adjoining areas, we can also say like joining areas. Basically, by adjoining, we mean like touching or having a common point or line. You may have uh, learned that in maths. So it's the same adjoining over here too. The precipitation is this area is between 100 centimeter and 200 centimeter. तो हमने देखा था कि जो ट्रॉपिकल एवरग्रीन फॉरेस्ट थे वहां पर 200 सेंटीमीटर तक था, लेकिन यहाँ पर 100 से लेकर 200 सेंटीमीटर के बीच में है, एंड वहां पर मिनिमम 200 था. Teak is the dominant species seen in the area. That means mostly you will see teak in these kind of forest, in the deciduous type of forest. And I have also written monsoon type of forest because there are dry deciduous forests too. So by writing it like that, there will be less confusion, I think. Along with that, deodar, blue gum, pal ash, sal, sandalwood, ebony, arjun, kher, and bamboo are also seen. So along with that, we can also see deodar, blue gum, pal ash, sal, sandalwood, ebony, arjun, kher, and bamboo. But of course, they are in the less quantity than teak. The trees in this forest shed their leaves during dry winter and dry summer. So, these kind of forests shed their leaves during dry winter. Like basically, in some regions, winters have moisture, like there is a little bit of rainfall. But in some places, the climate does not any rainfall. And by dry summer too, we mean that there is no moisture, no rain, basically. That we saw that in the tropical evergreen rainforest, it's evergreen. That means that they do not shed their leaves at all during any season. So now we are going to discuss about the dry deciduous forest. These forests grow in areas where the precipitation is between 50 centimeter and 100 centimeter. So by reading only this line, you can understand that it's not very much, like nice rainfall for greenery and trees. Like the name suggests, these are dry, as you can see in the picture. These are mainly seen in the areas of the central Deccan Plateau, Punjab, Haryana, parts of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and southeast of Rajasthan. And now we are going to talk about mountain forest. Mountain forests are those found in mountains. Mountain forests differ significantly along the slopes of the mountain. For example, if we take a mountain, then on the lower slopes, there will be a different kind of vegetation. And on the upper areas, there will be a different kind of vegetation. So this is what we mean by this line. On the foothills of the Himalayas, until a height of 1,500 meters, evergreen trees like sal, teak, bamboo grow copiously. So, over here, this is a picture of a evergreen tree. This is sal. On the highest slope, temperate conifer trees like pine, fir, and oak grow. Now, this is one of the pictures of temperate conifer trees which grow on the highest slope. At the higher elevation of the Himalayas, rhododendrons and junipers are found. So, these are rhododendrons and these are the junipers. Junipers are like shrubs or type of coniferous trees which grow in mountains. And now we are going to talk about tidal or mangrove forest. The tidal or mangrove forest grow by the side of the coast and on the edges of the deltas. The deltas of Kaveri, Krishna, Mahanadi, Godavari, and Ganga. In West Bengal, these forests are known as Sundarbans, as you can see in the picture. So there's a fact I'd like to give you all, that over here you can see that these trees have their roots above the waters, and these are the only kind of trees which breathe through their roots instead of their leaves. The Sundari is the most major tree in these forests. This is the picture of Sundari. The important trees of the tidal mangrove forest are Hogla, Garan, Pasur, etc. This forest is an important factor in the timber industry as they provide timber and firewood. So you can say that the timber industry might die without these forests. So now moving on to the next slide. Semi-deserts and desert vegetation. So by the name you can think of a scenery like this, but By semi, we mean that it's not only sand which is present in this area, but there is a little bit of vegetation, as you can see in this picture. This area receives rainfall of less than 50 centimeter. Thorny bushes, acacia, and babool are found in this vegetation region. This is a picture of a babool tree. The Indian wild date is generally found here. So here is a picture regarding the Indian wild date. They have long roots and thick flesh. They have long roots so that they can go deep inside the soil and search for water. And thick flesh in which they store water. And the flesh is mostly thick in the stem part. The plants found in this region store water in their stem to endure during the drought. These vegetation are found in parts of Gujarat, Punjab, and Rajasthan. Thank you, and I hope you liked my PPT. And that's all for my today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Education Talks. Bye bye. Meet you in my next video.